I think it's time we tried something new. I think it's time we tried something new.
Sir, do we get the win this time?
I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right, and I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro. Let's go, let's go!
Sir, do we get the win this time?
Yeah! Let's go! If I go, I'ma get. When I blow, I'ma hit. And I know I'm the kid. I'm a soul, don't forget. I'ma blow up winning. Got my flow so vivid. Here we go, just beginning. Yeah, I throw every inning. Got my flow so legit. All I know is my shit. Here I go, they can win. Post Malone in this bitch. Rock star making hits. Got guitar in this shit. Leaving scars cause we lit. All these bars that I spit. Yeah.
If you're lying to me, I'll be back.
Let's go, let's go!
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
If you're lying to me, I'll be back.
Let's go! If I know what I want, then I know what I get.
Hey,
if
buddy.
I go, they can win, cause they know I get lit. I'm a pro, not a myth, and my flow got some wit. Never slow, drink a fit. I get hype, I get lit. I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right, and
Hear
I
me,
go
right?
with the flow.
Con men,
Yeah, I go
thieves,
with the flow.
degenerates,
Yeah, I
lowlifes,
go with
thugs,
the flow.
criminals.
Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the
getting late.
zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro.
Who is your daddy? Who is your daddy?
Let's go.
Stop it!
Who are you? Who are you? Put this thing away. This is not worth it.
Yeah. Let's go. If I go, I'ma get. When I flow, I'ma hit. And I
enough from me. We're gonna have the games do our talking.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Grinders late night show after party. Check my check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Jim Ryan. Oh, there he is. There he is. Phil.
When I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do.
Pee Wee.
I'm trying to use the phone.
Arnold.
If you're lying to me, I'll be back.
Gordon. You there, Gordon? Gordon.
Disaster!
Oh.
Defensive, ignorant, and in complete denial.
All right, Gordon, we got you. Tony Soprano. Mic check, mic check.
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony, sorry, Tony. All right, we got, everybody's here. Oh, we got Silent Hill. We're here, we got him. All right, Jericho.
You just made the list!
We got you. All right, mic check. We got everybody here tonight. After party at the Grindhouse. Celebrities, grinders, everybody coming on in at the after party. Share this out. This is an impromptu stream. The internet pulled me in. I didn't want to do it, but I got pulled in. I got pulled into this. Just listening and just getting blasted with a bunch of news and... Woof. Man, I had to give my take on it. Holy crap. This has gone crazy. Shout out to Buck Roger. He's asking for that pool. Goddamn, he has a whole bunch of goddamn bathing suits. He has no pool to jump into. He's playing around the sprinklers in the front of the Grindhouse. Goddamn, Buck Rogers. We'll get you that pool. We're on our way up there at 925. We got him. Gaming night, what's up? Toolman. The tools. The late night tools. We got the late night tools in the house. I know this is late. East Coast, West Coast people will probably be up. But I know it's late. But the tools are here. The tools. There's always time for the tools. At least on one platform. There's tools are available all the time. The other platform, you gotta watch out. The tools, no time for tools over there. Game night, what's up? We have game night and the game night 1 2 3. He wants the donuts. Dude. We got donuts, refrigerators, Ori costumes. Just a guy, what's up, man? Ryan Lance, how you doing? All right. I got an iced tea here. It's not a Long Island iced tea. Maybe I should make it one. But goddamn, let's go. Who's this? I don't know what you're talking about, but here we go. So, what's up, guys? Yep. So, this whole thing, man. Brrr. This Game Pass battle that's been going on all day. We're gonna go right to it. There's no topics list or anything like this. We're gonna talk and talk about what the hell is going on with People Can Fly and Square and how Game Pass is involved in this shit. Or not. Because to believe it or not, I talk, and you go back and listen to the show on Monday, right? If you go back to listen to the show on Monday, man, like, if you go back and listen, when I was talking to Thrash, shout out to Thrash, man, he did a crazy Twitter Spaces. I thought Twitter was going to melt. I never seen the Twitter Spaces that long, but man, it was awesome. People were coming in and out. I gave a couple of bars in that thing, and then I left. I got kicked off. It's so unstable, that thing, but it's pretty cool. The thing is... Never heard of it. All right, Buck Rogers, like, that's you wish. Game Pass never heard of it. Like, you know, the thing is just if you live under a rock with dirt thrown on it, People Can Fly came out with an article, GameIndustry.biz. I'm just going to show it just so you see the friggin' thing. Oh, damn, I got to do this one here. I'm on a different one here. What the hell is my display? Here it is. Yeah. So the article is that so People Fly came out and they basically stated that the studio has yet to receive royalties from Square Enix, despite the publisher hailing launch as a start of a major franchise. So basically Outriders, right? So the developers have yet to get paid royalties from the publisher Square Enix for Outriders. The most we talked about Outriders since March, because the game has been broken. It's been on the Azure servers. Nobody talks about that. Azure is the future. Remember, shit to Amazon. Azure is the best. Well, here's your Azure game. They couldn't even play the goddamn game for a month because of shit. It was a budget Gears of War. I played a little bit of it, and I was done. I don't need bootleg Gears of War. So, I was not into this game, so I really have no opinion. But apparently, everybody's going around now saying it's trash. But it was a huge get. I remember doing a video about it turning over a new leaf. Outriders and MLB both going into Game Pass. Those were third-party games, big third-party games at the time, going into a service. Everybody was hyped. Game Pass is the best. Outriders day one. Now it's garbage. Nobody could play it, apparently. I guess. Did it have a Game Pass stench to it or something? Like, and we're admitting that now, that it was just garbage? I don't know. I didn't play it all, so I'm not saying it's garbage or not garbage. I just know a lot of people come play it. I didn't like it because it's bootleg Gears of War. That was my review. Bootleg Gears of War. Let me pop this thing over here. Hold on. Because I got to see what the hell the grinders are saying. Late night grinders. These are the grinders that OGs and new ones. If you're new, man, hit that subscribe button. Buck needs to get his pool at 1,000 subs. Let me fix my chat. Yo, what's up, Salty? How you doing? See, West Coast. We got him. What's up, Salty? How you doing, man? I know we'll probably be definitely talking about this tomorrow, but man, I had to get some words in on this thing because it is the Twitterverse has just been wild, man. Yo, what's up, Gaming Despair? How you doing? So anyway, back to the article here. I just want to make sure I had the chat up here so I could see it. Because when I share my screen, I don't want to, if you guys are saying something, answering questions, I want to make sure you get your stuff in there. No, not that one. Here. Yeah. So they didn't get paid. All right? The game launched on April 1st. April Fools, everybody. Maybe that's why they're not getting paid, because they were released on April Fools. But April Fools, and they should have got paid, apparently, on August 16th. So now they're a day or so overdue, and they're like, yo, where's this payment? And the CEO came out. The Wachowski brothers, the guys that made The Matrix, the Wachowski brothers. I'm sorry, Sebastian. I don't know your last. I can't say that last name. I'm sorry, but I'll call him Sebastian. You know, he is the only people I know. Sebastian. He's from what is it? The Neverending Story, Fighting the Darkness, and The Nothing. That's what he calls Game Pass. He calls it The Nothing. No, he didn't call it that. But anyway, so he comes out. And he's like, dude, we need to get paid. Apparently, this game did well. You know, they said that it reached 3.5 million players the first month. They have no clue what the sales are. They just know that they're not getting paid. They're estimating that it sold between 2 to 3 million units. And they assume that it was a result that will ensure profitability. So apparently, they get paid if the game is profitable. Now, he goes on. This is where, and was this the one where you had the quote? He basically goes, and this is where people are like, what does this have to do with Game Pass? He says this. He suggests that it's maybe due to costs around distribution platforms, and he goes on to say about Game Pass, and I'm like, where the hell is that thing? He said it about Game Pass, and he basically goes, I know, like, no, he says this. But, like, he goes about distribution platforms and speculates that maybe it was the deal that, you know, Square had with Game Pass distribution that may be why it's not profitable. Well, that's the thing where that connection was there. This game was, like, one of the first big third-party games to release day and date from a third-party publisher in the service. There's been other ones, I believe, but mostly indies would do day and date, and they actually see a big growth and stuff. And Square seemed pretty happy. Now, the thing is that Square is weird as hell, man. Square, like, they like everything underperforms to them. Like, you know, they would just their expectations versus reality always seem to be in question. Like, they always go like, well, we did a game sold like 3 million. They're like, yeah, and we wanted more. Like, you know, they said it about the Avengers game, which that thing pretty much like that tanked. That was a big loss for them. I'm sure that cost them tons of money on stuff. But they actually revealed that, you know, they had 3.5 million the first month. And, you know, they just don't understand. Like, you know, the thing is that direct sales, that it's included in Game Pass. So they're unsure of how the Game Pass distribution might have affected the profitability. That's where this whole thing came from and how Game Pass got pulled into this. Because it was that they're unsure of how much it sold and what the profitability is because they were expecting to get paid. They heard the publisher saying, this is wonderful, we're doing well, a lot of people are in there, and thinking like, okay, well, we're estimating about 2 to 3 million sales. We don't know actually, but where's our royalties? Because we assume that it made a profit. So now the whole thing, and this was at a financial call. So now the whole thing goes is that, well, did Game Pass help or harm the game in an instance? And I'm going to give you my honest thing. You know how I feel about the Game Pass and what it might do to games and things like that, especially Microsoft's first-party games, and, you know, how they might be presented or structured or the quality of them. Phil acknowledges the quality in a service. As you know, with this game, Outriders, they said it wasn't a service game, and even though like it was like it depended on the internet, it was more of a loot, like more of a Borderlands. Whereas the other one, the MLB The Show, was huge. These games weren't really built for a subscription service, but they were just put in there. And you know, Outriders had the demo. There was some negative feedback on the demo. People weren't super pleased with it. And then right about a week or two before the game releases, they just announced it in Game Pass. This wasn't some sort of like E3 announcement or even a Game Awards announcement for this game to come into Game Pass. This was like a 2 weeks before, and they actually had tutorials on how to cancel your friggin' pre-order. Which I remember at the time going like, this is very disruptive that they announced this game being in Game Pass about 2 weeks before the game released. It was like sometime in March, like the middle of March 17th or around there. You know, and the thing is that it was very interesting that then they had a whole like the Xbox, I don't know if it was Xbox Wire, but they were all on the Twitter. Like Xbox was saying like, this is how you cancel your pre-order. And I'm like, if you go back to listen to the video that I did in March, like, you know, Grinds My Gears or one of the gaming grindhouses, like I basically was going like, this is kind of disruptive. Like, I don't think a publisher or even a developer for that instance would like to sit there and watch. They had pre-orders and watch those pre-orders just get canceled because it's coming to Game Pass. And I just thought it was very... And they kind of did a similar thing to MLB The Show, but like, I just thought like, okay, well, you know...
You just made the list!
You know, the shit list. Like, basically, let me see if I can find it. It was basically Outriders refund, cancel pre-orders for Game Pass. Let me see if I can find this thing. Yeah, where was it? Oh, was it on there? So, like... Like, look at this. Like, this is what I mean. Like, so, Grinders, you come here. Dude, this is the shit that nobody's telling you. This is where you get it's on the internet because nobody freaking reads or anything like that, right? I mentioned how disruptive and things like that, right? So watch this. A quick search on the interwebs. People Can Fly asks fans to retain their Outriders pre-orders after the Xbox Game Pass announcement. Taking to Reddit earlier today, People Can Fly confirmed that players can easily cancel their pre-orders to instead access Outriders through their Game Pass subscription at release. However, at the same time, the developer hopes that players will continue to show their trust by retaining their existing pre-order. And they go here, by maintaining your pre-order, you'll indeed be helping and supporting the Outriders team, said the developer. We truly appreciate anyone who's willing to trust us with a pre-order. This is not something that we would take for granted, and that is why we have tried to lay out your options as easy as possible. This is from the dev. Only $1, right? I saw that video by Destin Laguerre, yeah. That's buy for $1, play. Okay. So now when they're like, where are the royalties? Everybody's like, why are you blaming Game Pass? It was everywhere. Yeah. Look, the dev. Dude, it was everywhere. You want to see something funny? I'm going to come back to this article. You want to see something funny? Watch this. Hold the phone. Let's see if I could zoom in on this. So let's just look up Outriders refund pre-order the game. Let's see how many. Look at this. The dev is begging, don't cancel your pre-order. Please trust us. It helps us directly. You see that. They quoted saying that. It helps them. Okay? Don't cancel it. And I said this back then. I said this was very disruptive of doing this. And you see why publishers like 2K and even Sean Layden and stuff like that, and even Cyberpunk, when that shit was considered something to be hyped for, they were like, we're not going to Game Pass because they know people are smart. They will cancel this shit. Right? So, look at this. So, again, look at the articles. Outriders Game Pass refund, pre-order bonuses. Kotaku, PSA Game Pass members, cancel your Outriders pre-order. Segment next, People Can Fly asked to retain a reorder. Jinx TV, how to get a refund on Outriders for Xbox. Outriders dev anticipates refunds on Xbox after Game Pass, the 6 access. Glitched, how to refund your Outriders on Xbox One and Series X. Outriders Game Pass refunded, pre-order. Lurk it. VG27. Outriders devs outline how to request for a refund on Xbox now. Outriders coming to Game Pass on day 1. Dude, that's just page 1. What do you expect people are going to do? Cancel their pre-order. All right? And you see the dev, and this kind of goes to like what I think King Thresh was kind of going over this thing about how this affects devs, and, you know, people just trying to blame Square Enix, right? But, like, the devs were basically begging people, hey, trust us. They say it right here. We truly appreciate anyone who is willing to trust us with a pre-order. It says supporting the Outriders team. Dude, like, do you need to be any more clearer that, you know, I said it was a disruptive thing because people had this game pre-ordered. After playing the demo, some liked it and things like that. And look, they even have the, oh, Jesus. Like, they have links on how to request the refund. And look, the Xbox service is having issues, like notifications. Hey, get a refund. Like, request a refund. And they're like, your refunds are so easy. That's how you start the game before it's even launched. You're telling people to refund it. And that was obviously Square's decision to take the bag and put this game in Game Pass. Phil must have went up to them and said, and, you know, gave them like a little Phil Ness. You know, gave them some donuts. Yes, exactly, the families. So, but what's interesting is that, you know, it was everywhere. It wasn't just on there. But if you look, oh man. So here it is. Like, look. So this is the Reddit post where they posted about how it's coming on April 1st. They expressed their gratitude and thank everyone who has pre-ordered the game. Without your belief, it would be very hard to create this original universe. This is from the devs, right? Will we get the Hell Rangers content pack? It's a way of saying thank you. If you pre-ordered it, you'll get some content. I've already pre-ordered, but I would like to cancel my. This is, and I said, how demoralizing is this as a developer? If you're making a game, you put out the demo. Some people, I remember people kind of liked it. Some people didn't like it. But like 2 weeks before the game. Now, when was this posted? 5 months ago. I don't like. It was like 2 weeks before the game came out. You have to deal with people canceling pre-orders of your game. Pre-orders are guaranteed money, full price for your game, and you could watch people canceling this. This is where Game Pass disrupted this game. Whether it's a shit game, whether it's broken, or whatever it is, this was very disruptive. And I blame probably Square and whatever Xbox, Square kind of just maybe saw the money, maybe Phil kind of flashed his pants, and they're like, okay, we'll put it in Game Pass, and basically created this massive exodus of canceling your pre-order. With links, please don't cancel it if you really like it. Like, this is what I mean. And this is just canceling pre-orders on Xbox. People must have canceled Amazon. Here, if you pre-ordered at Amazon, GameStop, Game, you got to call them up to cancel your pre-order. So, this was very disruptive. And you could see, I'm not going to sit here on the Grindhouse, and really just kind of blame it all on Game Pass. The game's quality and game's launch health was already in question. It was a budget Gears of War. It was what it was. And actually, if you look at the NPDs for the month of March when the game released, it ranked 3 on Xbox and 3 on PlayStation. So it was the same. It wasn't really below that. So like the whole Xbox playing game is not buying it and stuff like that. I think we need to kind of stop that. I do think that eventually this Game Pass is kind of mentally making people not want to go buy games, and practices like they did with these 2 games in March make you kind of hesitant to even pre-order, because if it does go to Game Pass, like, you cancel your pre-order, but like, I'll just wait for it to come to Game Pass. And it makes you just kind of just wait and not really buy the game, because it might come to Game Pass. And then the worst thing at all is if you pay for the game, kind of go, it's all right, and then it shows up in Game Pass after you pay for it. That's like the worst feeling in the world. That's like getting kicked in the nuts, and that's the worst feeling in the world. I just bought this game, and 2 months later, it's in Game Pass. Are you kidding me? So Game Pass does create this kind of like hesitation, and just like knowing to pre-order, to buy a game, like, unless you really, really like it, you're going to buy it. Like, I'm just being dead honest. Just as a consumer. What Game Pass does to first party, whatever it does, that's a whole other story. But as for the sales of games, they fucked all the pre-orders. And this was very disruptive. And you got to blame Square on this, Square Enix, for doing the deal with the devil, with Phil Ness, the Green Devil, and saying, hey, sell out put it on Game Pass, woohoo! And then they said 3.5 million people playing, woohoo! But the one thing that I think, and we don't know, and this is the thing I wanted to come out here and say, it's like, I hear tons of speculation. I hear tons of like, well, they signed a deal and this and everybody gets paid when you click on the download. And we don't know what the deal was. All we know is that the game was coming out. It was demoed. It was able to be pre-ordered, and about 3 weeks before the game launched, it was announced coming to Game Pass April 1st. I believe Microsoft did this, and I said this before. They did this and MLB The Show, I think, to maybe get their numbers up for the quarter, because I think they must have saw a big drop from the 18 million. That's probably why we didn't hear anymore. And they probably had Game Pass dropping, and they needed some sort of oomph. Medium didn't do it. And they probably said, hey, let's get some third-party game that's coming out and then getting MLB The Show in there and this game in the same month. Now, they have yet to kind of hit that kind of nerve. Maybe, they got Octopath Travel, which was a good get. But I think the next one they're getting is Back for Blood, is kind of a third-party game launching in there. And I could tell you, that game definitely has a coat of a smear of what do you call it? It has a little bit of.
This is the worst lunch I ever had.
Your only job is to cook. Do you not realize I have had diarrhea since Easter's?
So, yeah. The Back for Blood is a little bit of a Left 4 Dead light. Or like they try to be Left 4 Dead, but not. It definitely has a little wonky shit to it. It's fun with friends. We always say that. But it gets a little bit of a smear on it. When I first thought it was coming out, I was like, woohoo! And then I'm like, oh, when I played the beta. So, yeah, anyway. But that's going to Game Pass. But the thing is that the game was disruptive. The dev was plain saying, don't cancel your pre-orders. Square made the deal, and they did this. But I think Microsoft kind of did this to try to get some increase in numbers for the month. And I thought they were going to announce new subscribers. Maybe that's why. And they wound up, still not to this day, announcing a new subscriber count for Game Pass. So, like, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. I know. Oh, wow, really? J-Cat says almost nobody played Octopath Traveler. Oh, shit. They're trying. And you know what, J-Cat? Like, the thing is, though, is that if they're trying to do it and they're not seeing the results, we don't know. Everybody celebrates the transparency of Xbox, but they're transparent when it says we're making a refrigerator. We got donuts. We're working on games. Like, the transparency. Yo, what's up, CTR2? You know, the transparency, they're hiding behind all the numbers. Yeah, we're doing good. We're all in on gaming, says the robot, Satya Nadella. Show us. Don't just open up your checkbook and spend money. What's the product from this? And I'm sure that's why he has to say that, because I am sure the investors, I am sure there's a lot of questions going, well, you spent a lot of money. Let's see this growth, this cloud, this 2 billion gamers you talk about. We need to start seeing this. So when's that happening? Because it seems like it's a slow burn, dude. It's a slow burn. Yeah, transparency is good. Oh yeah, you know, I keep forgetting the dude with the beard that's like 5 feet long, and he has like looked like a who farted face. You know, on a lot of the photos that I see, he's like who farted? Like, this dude looks like he just dropped the deuce, and he has this long ass beard, and he's on the show talking about the architecture and all this other stuff. I keep forgetting his name. Jason Ron, that's his name. Yeah. So he, like, you know, the who farted look that he has on all the pictures that I see. But, like, dude, he comes on, he tells about they're so transparent. Where they have not talked about numbers, talked about sales. They tell you, like, oh, I saw an article, 5 million people playing Sea of Thieves. The housefly that won't die. Sea of fucking Thieves. It's been out for 4 fucking years. 5 years. 5 million active players. And guess what, dude? You understand that game didn't really blow up until it hit Steam. What does that say about Game Pass on PC? What does that say about console Game Pass? Sea of Thieves hit hard when it went to Steam. People waited because they don't want to subscribe to play it. They just want to spend $40 and have it in their library. That's why it blew up on Steam. And by the time it came to Steam, it had all the content it should have had 3 years ago. So, and you just dropped Pirates of the Caribbean, which is the most well-known thing that should have been in there like a year in. Which got people probably just trying it out just to see Pirates of the Caribbean. Because when's the last, you know, it's Disney. So, you know, there's a lot of factors in that. But Sea of Thieves really hit when it hit Steam. People weren't playing that through the Windows 10 store. subscribe to Game Pass and shit. Even Master Chief, like all the Xbox games that are going to Steam, they are making bank on those. You see them in the top sellers and stuff. But what does that say for the PC gamer? They don't give a fuck about PC Game Pass. Because a lot of those games are already in the Windows 10 store. But they don't care. So by celebrating the success of these games on PC with Steam, really is not doing any favors for Game Pass. So we got to look at what Game Pass has been doing. To say, like, you know, people go, it's the future and all this other shit. This is how you're going to play your games. But this is very disruptive. And I think that's why some big devs are coming out going, no, maybe our old games will go there, but new big games are not going to Game Pass. Because they don't want this disruption. Because as soon as you take the consumer who is like, hey, I buy your game, man. I buy $60, $7. All right, I'll buy it. All of a sudden, you tell that person now, it's like, well, hey, you get that for a subscription. Now you put a cloud, a question mark over the consumer, where the consumer now has an out. How do I cancel my pre-order? Please don't cancel your pre-order. Please. By maintaining your pre-order, you will indeed be helping and supporting the Outriders team. Not Square Enix. The Outriders team, said the developer. We truly appreciate anyone who is willing to trust us with a pre-order. This is not something we would ever take for granted, and that is why we have tried to lay out your options as easy as possible. The options which people can fly mentioned here include players signing into their Microsoft account, finding their pre-order bill, and canceling it for a full refund. If that fails, players can send in a request for a refund through the Xbox refund process. Anyone who pre-ordered Outriders through Amazon and GameStop will have to contact them directly. Take note, though, Microsoft has so far only announced the game to be available on Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate on Xbox, not on PC. Furthermore, Xbox players who are already playing the demo will have their progress carried over if they opt to play the game through Game Pass after release. So there's a perk. You know? Outriders is a cooperative third-person shooter, blah, blah, blah. So, again, I'm not blaming the success or them not getting paid on Game Pass. And I think that's where a lot of the takes were today, saying that Game Pass caused this. I think there were a lot of quality issues with the game. I think the game was, it was mediocre to be at best. But at the time it was hype as shit because it was going to Game Pass. Everybody was championing it, but now everybody admits that it was a mediocre Gears of War. Light with magic. And some people played it and beat it and stuff like that. Like, again, I think the games wasn't a huge hit. Like, even though it did sell top 3, but you're looking at April and March where there wasn't too much, I guess. There was Returnal, I guess, came out on PlayStation, but like, really, it was March. Like, it was I think it was one of the first big games of the year. But like, the thing is that I'm not going to sit here and say Game Pass is causing them not to get paid. No. The game overall did not sell where I guess it wanted, or Square Enix is being a stingent bitch and just not paying them. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're out here going, yo, it's 2 days past payday. Where's our royalty, Square Enix? We're gonna go public with this shit. We gave you a buffer of a day or so. Now we're going to go and make some news. I am sure now, the next couple of days, Square is going to say something, or they're going to be like, oh, Square decided to give us our royalties, are paying us, or Square's going to say something. Maybe at that financial call or something like that. So that's why I'm not going to say here that, Game Pass did this. But it does put a little bit of a question mark on, how they really don't know how well their game did. That's the problem with the publisher not telling them this. But also, it was the first time it distributed through this. And the only thing I could say for Game Pass that this would do, now listen, all right? Listen. The only thing I could say about Game Pass is that what this is kind of, this is not great news for the Game Pass. What's up, the CM? How you doing? Like, this is not great news because I think people who are eager to maybe want to put their games, or publishers want to put their games, they're seeing that if it didn't make profitability, that Game Pass really didn't help this game become profitable. Even if it was a mediocre game, which is kind of good. I'd rather have that because they say, hey, shit games are still shit games, even in a service. So you're not going to be able to kind of make up for, a mediocre game by putting it in a service. So maybe that is a good thing if people look at it from that way. Like, hey, a mediocre game is not going to do well in a service or on sales. So make a great game and it will sell and do well on both things. And you can look at that with how successful MLB The Show is. MLB The Show did well on sales and on Game Pass. Like, it was still the top 10 on Xbox this past month, and it was top 3 on PlayStation. So MLB The Show is doing well as part of Game Pass and selling. So maybe it's just the game just didn't do well, or Square is being a bitch. So, and not paying. And we'll find out, I'm sure, soon. Square will pay. But, like, you have to look, though, at the way things went down in the fact that they had pre-orders and these were canceled because of the abrupt announcement that it was going to Game Pass. And that was very disruptive. And I'm sure from a developer standpoint, probably looking at that, I know if I made something and worked on it and I put out the demo and I see all the pre-order numbers, oh, wow, thousands, 2,000, 3,000, oh, wow, look at all these pre-orders and stuff. And then, like, 3 weeks before I'm going to launch my game, I have to now make a public statement going, well, here's how to cancel your pre-order because our publisher made a deal to put this in a service day one. And I understand. See, Just Wait's bringing up Hades, selling about 90% of the UK and doing that stuff. Like, yeah. But this is one of the things that I was going back to Monday's call, right? Monday's thing with the rest, I was saying, I don't think Game Pass is as big as we all think it is in this Twitterverse. I think Game Pass is still in its infancy. I don't think Game Pass has enough subscribers right now to really disrupt that kind of stuff just now. I think it could take a little bit away, but I don't think there's enough people. Like, there's about 90 to, I think, 100 million live subscribers, and there's like 18, maybe even dropped, or 23. Like, you're talking about not even a fifth, or fluttering around a fifth of it. It may do a little a dent, but I don't think Game Pass is as big as we think it is. We think that every Xbox owner is a Game Pass subscriber. It makes sense. They kind of force you to do that because it is the better deal how to get live and stuff, and you get more games, but you're paying more. But I don't think there's enough subscribers for Game Pass to be that disruptive just yet. I think it will get there if it keeps growing, but I don't think that we could just say, hey, 90% to 10% Xbox players don't play games. I just think they're not interested in those kind of games. I think that didn't sell on Xbox because the Xbox player now really doesn't. Come on, I think we need to be all honest with ourselves, right? The Xbox One generation, the mind share went out the window. Everything, all the hardcore, everything that they built with the 360, close to the end of the 360 to the Xbox One, they lost it. The first couple of years were good, but by that time, people already didn't want to hear anything about it. Because when Sony was dropping The Last of Us at the end of the PlayStation 3 and God of War and Uncharted, right? Microsoft was playing Kinectimals, talking about Kinect, giving us Gears Judgment, one of the worst Gears games that we had. Fable the third, or fourth, like a fabled Kinect. Kinectimals, Usher with Dance Central. They went casual. They were going for the Wii crowd, while Sony was going back to like getting the hardcore back. So it started near the end of the 360 generation. Then Microsoft came out and was talking about TVs and movies and TV and entertainment, more of as an entertainment company rather than a gaming company. However, they did have some good games that they got exclusively, such as Titanfall. I liked Rise, and I kind of stuck it out, and I went right full Xbox One, now PlayStation. Now, PlayStation, they kind of did their stuff with the PlayStation 3, but waited with indies and stuff. And that was the indie love in the beginning of the PlayStation 4. Then, when the games started drying up on Xbox, now in 2016, that's when Sony hit its stride. And it hasn't stopped since. And Microsoft has been going down. Now, to be honest, I think a lot of the hardcore gamers, the gamers that play, like a lot of those games, stayed to PlayStation or went to PlayStation. And I don't think those kind of games appeal to that crowd. That's why some of those games, like all those, like the only way Judgment and like not Judgment, but like all those Yakuza games showed up was because Game Pass showed up. All those Final Fantasy games that were just sitting in the PlayStation Store, Final Fantasy 20, Final Fantasy XX2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, all these freaking Final Fantasies, all of a sudden started going to the Xbox when Game Pass showed up. Because they know it wasn't worth porting that game over to Xbox to yield the sales. They just don't sell. So I think games like roguelikes and all that other stuff don't really do well on an Xbox. Plus, the install base in the UK, it is like 3-to-1. Like, it is huge, the dichotomy of it. So, I just think that, they lost the UK. They had the UK with Forza. I remember the 360. Man, they were pretty competitive in the UK because they really pushed Forza, and that's when Forza was kind of taking over Gran Turismo. And they really pushed really hard to get that UK audience with the 360. They did great with the marketing and the thing. They worked their ass off to do that. That's what grinds my gears so much, that they worked so hard to establish themselves trying as a global brand, and they completely just threw it out the window with the Xbox One, and now we're back to square one. They got 23 studios. They're sitting on their hands. Halo's coming out. We have no clue when it comes out. We have no clue what the hell it's going to look like, what it's going to contain on day one. We have a lot of questions, and it's already near the end of August. You can't stealth drop Halo. They did all the serials and shows last holiday when the game was supposed to come out. It was on the box. Are they going to do it again? Because you're going to stealth drop Halo? Hope not. I hope they show more of that campaign and show what the hell we're going to get and what kind of game modes we're going to get. Halo 5, we played the shit out of that thing in March. The beta of 5 maps. Competitive. There was no bots. We had Arena. Dude, it was crazy. I had Hunt the Truth podcast. We had Nightfall movie. It was a Halo year. Hyped up. Now, we tested bots over a weekend. The guns shoot well. A lack of special effects because it's a tech test. And we got a hairless Craig that went to the Brazilian wax salon. Who do I hear? I hear somebody. What the hell's going on? I hear some talking. Is that me? Where's that? Is that guy? I hear something. It's a ghost. It's a freaking ghost. But yeah, like, the subscription services, like the subscription. You remember when VR was coming around and everybody was like, VR is going to be the future and all this other stuff. And what happened? It didn't. It got its niche. It got its capabilities. I really like VR, but it is not the way we game. It is a cool experience. It's like going to Dave & Buster's. That's why I love it. But they were talking about VR came out, dude. They were talking about friggin' this is it. Holy shit, games. I remember GameStop was going to build a section in the store for VR only. They're like, VR did what it did. And I think Game Pass and subscription gaming will find its little niche, an area of the people that, I think it will probably appeal to the people who probably used to just go to GameStop and buy their games secondhand. That's the person, like the person who wants their stuff. That's who they'll get. It's a war on the used gaming market, the subscription gaming. That's what I think it should be. Microsoft's trying to add a little spin with the day-and-date games, but as you see, and another thing, Phil already said in one of his interviews, like, third party is really not jumping on board with this. He did get a Brazilian wax job. Like, the ghost of Game Pass passed. Whoa. The thing is, and hit that like button, share it out for the games after grinding after dark, baby. Woo! We got grinding after dark. Hold on. I hear this friggin' ghost. I think it's my phone. Hold on a second. Listen to Phil.
When I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years with our first-party output.
That's always been a hit on the company on that. Whatever I hear some criticism.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say always. Like, I think we've gone through times
not to
where we've
throw
done
mud on you, but I have to know that's a fair. I think it's something fair to say.
It is fair to say, and means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality.
Did Phil say something?
We haven't done our best work.
Yes, Phil. Hey.
With our first-party output.
That's always been a hit on the company on that. Whatever I hear some criticism.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say always. Like, I think we've gone.
I would say always.
But I have to know that's a fair. I think it's something fair to say.
It is fair to say, and
that was in 2019, as I always say. So, 2 years ago, dude still was saying quality. Now, so the thing is like regarding the Square, I think Square needs to pay the devs. I think a lot of this falls on the publisher, Square Enix. I think they got to pay them. And if the game wasn't profitable, to tell them that it's not profitable so they know, because they're kind of in the dark. And people can work on a better game. Whatever happened with this, maybe don't use Azure servers next time. Maybe Amazon is the better service, even though Phil and friends say that Azure is the best, and they build nuclear subs with them, or they're in the ground, like in the Phil went under the seas looking for the Kraken body and put a server in the ocean. But Azure servers didn't do too well there either. The tools, that's right, Buddy Cactus. The tools are coming. But, I think a lot of this falls on Square Enix. I do think that Game Pass was a little bit disruptive and put a little bit of a question mark, kind of going like, well, Game Pass was different in this situation. But I don't think Game Pass was the ultimate thing. I do think, though, Game Pass will have that kind of effect, like, as it grows. And they're going to have to figure out what to do. And like I said this on a bunch of shows, it's like, I don't want them making games for the service. I want them making games for the gamer. And that's where I don't believe in a Game Pass future. Because when people talk about a Game Pass future, they're just thinking about, oh my God, I am going to get all these amazing games for the low, low price of $15 a month. And especially people that are older. You really, think that? Life has not taught you that you get what you pay for? I don't know, maybe kids and teenagers think that, oh yeah, well, I'm invincible. Oh yeah, I get everything I want, so this is what should be. But, if you are in your 40s and 30s, life has taught you that, oh, for the low, low price of $15 a month, I'm going to get all this high-quality stuff that I've been playing for the last 25 years. You think that? You think for the price of $1, you're going to get the same games. Man, they're going to deliver Halo 3, the biggest Halo ever. Oh my God, I can't wait. For $15, I could play that. Oh, that God of War 3. Oh yeah, when Sony does it, because we need Sony to do it, that thing is going to be even better than this God of War, because it is going to, and I'm only going to pay $15 a month to play it. And once I'm done, I'm going to delete it. And woohoo, 7, 10 years, 8 years of game development. So I could just play it over a night for a box of chocolates and delete the game. $70, $15. Shit, I didn't even pay $15. I got it for a box of chocolates. You really think, when you're sitting there capping for this service and thinking this is the future, This is how we're going to consume games. You think that's going to happen? That's what life taught you. Netflix is goddamn $20 a month. You like Stranger Things? $25. Disney, a big budget movie. You want to see it early? $30. On top of the $7 you're paying a month. Oh shit. You mean I can't watch Black Widow for $7? Not at launch? You want to see it in Halloween? Yeah. You want to watch it now in July? Pay $30. Ah. So, if life taught you that, like, that's my problem. And knowing that the majority of the people playing your game are subbed up, what incentive you have to sell them that game? Most of them are not going to buy it. They'll play it in the service. This is when Game Pass or subscription gaming is the future that some of these people on the internet say that this is the future. Do you think? You don't think the games will change? Look at the mobile market if you want to talk about so much about changing stuff. Try to find a complete $7 mobile game that doesn't have microtransactions in it. The mobile market bottomed out. 99-cent apps to free games. They couldn't go any lower. But they realized they'll monetize you. The games were made for that model. Likewise, the games will be made for a subscription model. Episodic. Shipped out in a kind of a semi-rough state. You know what? We would typically ship a game for $60, $70 with 10 maps, 5 multiplayer modes, a campaign, or this huge... But you know what? We're just going to ship with the 2 maps. We'll put more later. Here's about 6 guns. We'll add more later. January update. We're adding a new map. February, we heard you with the guns. March, we heard you with the balancing. And that's the way it goes. Because they will they don't have to rush the game out for day one when they already got your money and they know that you're just signed up. Plus, it's beneficial because it keeps interest in their game, but they're dangling a carrot. Oh, you want more maps? Woo, 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 here's the carrot. They will adapt to this. Is that the future of gaming you want? You think you're going to get the God of Wars, the Halo 3s, the Gears 2s, the Mario games? You think you're going to get those games if everything goes to subscription gaming? You think you're going to get the same experience? They're going to change these games. These games will be compromised for such a subscription. And the only person who will benefit is the sucker that's paying $15 a month in and month out, and probably has to buy a family plan because that person can only play on one account, and the kids need to have their own account, so they need $15, $20 in a household, $25 for little Timmy to play. Now I got 3 subscriptions because each person wants to play their own games. Now I'm paying $25, $30 a month for the fucking gaming family plan. $360, $400 a year. Because I did $15 for my account, but my family wants to play. Oh shit. Let's add $10 for Timmy. Another 10 for Susan. She don't want to use my profile. She wants her games. Well, pay up, Phil says.
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games.
But then my other friend wants to play on his phone. Well, that's a $5 upgrade.
I'm trying to use the phone!
Now you get your fucking bill. It looks like a goddamn cable bill. $100 a month you're paying. And on top of that, guess what? They're telling you what's a part of your subscription. So you want to play your Call of Duties. You want to play your NBAs. You want to play your Battlefields. You want to play your Cyberpunks, the ones that fucking work. You want to play your GTA 6s? Well, guess what? You'll have to buy those. While you're paying $30 a month to play the games they tell you are part of your service. You sit there like a complacent gamer and they tell you what you should play. And then you got to sort through the shit to figure out what you like. You got time for that? That's what you're paying for. Pay for that, plus pay for the games that are not part of your subscription. So who's paying more? Who's saving money? I don't want it as our future. That's why I grinds my gears. That's why I don't want this model to be the model for sole purpose for gaming. Gaming does not need... Xbox might need this, but Nintendo and Sony are selling and doing fine with console game. They don't give a fuck about the cell phones. They don't want to get 2 billion people on the they're doing fine and making money, and their games are succeeding. They're winning awards. They're being well renowned. People are copying their practices. Those are the ones that have been succeeding. Microsoft is the one that's struggling to find an image right now. They want to be a mobile game. They want to be mobile. They have strap-ons. They got touch screens. Oh, you can play Hades with your touch screen. Well, it has some special buttons that we overlaid on the system. Oh, but then there's games that have touchscreen on xCloud that don't have that special customization. They're just a controller slapped onto the screen. And then we got games that don't have touch at all, and you got to go buy your strap-on and buy a $60, $70 controller with a $15 a month subscription, and that is very accessible gaming for the kid that has a cell phone. So I just want to play games on my phone. Here you go, kid. Well, I want to play... Oh, well, you need a $10 strap-on, and you need a $60 controller, and I have to pay $15 a month. That's accessible gaming for the 2 billion people. What is that? $15 a month, $60 controller, $10 strap-on, $70. Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds accessible. That's almost free. For a person that just wants to play games with a thing in their pocket. That's the gamer that they're going for. That's their future. Let them figure that shit out. Don't you bring that shit over here. I do my peekaboo gaming. You put a game in the service that I want to play, I boot it up. I'll pay you $10 and I'll try it out and play it. That's how I use Game Pass. Take from them everything, give them nothing. That's the thing. That's what I have a problem with. When the people go, it's our future. Look at Spotify. Ooh. Look at Spotify. Ooh. Headphones were too big for Spotify. You had to put fucking nodules in your ears now. Because people don't want to carry around headphones. Now you got a bud to put in your ear to listen to music. Because guess what? Walking around with headphones and a cell phone, that wasn't mobile enough. Now I need a fucking bud in my ear to listen to music because it was so intrusive carrying your headphones around. But wait a second. Here's a full-on fucking controller. Or, wait a second. No, a $100 Rikishi. The Kanish. $100. That's accessible. Fuck buying a console. I'll just buy a $100 accessory for my phone. To pay on my $15 subscription. That I'll stream over the internet, and depending if I got a fucking northwest wind will depend on how much lag I get in my game. And I'm going to enjoy myself when these cell phones are powerful enough to run 360 games natively on them. That are built for the phone. That's what they're playing on phones. They're not trying to stream it over the friggin' internet and then buy a $70, $100 accessory to play this stuff. So Phil is wasting their time. He is fluffing he's fluffing them up because we know they don't give a shit. And it's all wasted energy, wasted hype. Hades comes out. Instead of celebrating Hades, it's like, Hades on Game Pass with Cloud and Touch. Shut the fuck up. You know what? Arnold, you tell him.
Stop it! Put this thing away. This is not worth it.
Bullshit.
You hear me, right? Con men, thieves, degenerates, lowlifes, thugs, criminals!
No, I'm not subscribed to Game Pass. You jump on, you play a game, you jump off. No fucking subscribe. You think I'm gonna pay $10 or $15 a month to wait for Halo? You think I'm gonna pay? You fucking idiots. Oh, Fable's coming out. What are you gonna pay? $15 a month to play fucking Fable? You'll pay when Fable comes out. It's not like they're dropping games like Fable every month. It's pretty easy to pick and choose when you want to play. You want to play all the Dirts from Dirt 5 to Dirt 2? Yeah, that shit came out. The fuck you paying for right now? The fucking subscribe. I'm not giving them my fucking money like that. And anyway, when I had Game Pass, I used a $14 free trial. Because that's what it's worth right now. If there's a game that I feel like that's worth it, then I will pay the $10 on the PC to play it. Or, actually, what I just do is buy it on Steam. That's what I do with Master Chief Collection. I'm not paying a fucking month. I buy it on Steam, where everybody else is playing on PC. And for the little indie games, that maybe jump on and do it. But when I'm talking about Game Pass, it has that niche for what it is. It's, if you fucking listening, it's the people saying that this is how we're going to game solely. This is what everybody needs to do. That's what I'm speaking about. If you get the Phil Spencer dick out your ears. Okay? This kind of like just clean slate of like this Game Pass erases everything. No, fuck that. Like Game Pass do what VR did. Go in the fucking corner. You're good. But it does. We don't need. That is not the future of game. Cloud streaming is the future of gaming. You want to know what? Who the fuck knows when that's going to happen? I saw Paris. He said, "Oh, in the next 7 years." Are you what? What? They couldn't predict the fucking pandemic under their fucking nose. You're telling me you think in 7 years, 7 years the cloud. Yeah, I'll be flying cars. I'll be with Marty McFly with my fucking hoverboard. You give a shit about the next 7 years? The fuck cares about the next 7 years? Worry about when Halo releases this holiday. That's the question you should be asking. The fucking next 7 years we'll be using cloud. That's what's on your mind? What are you going to do? Sit there and twiddle your thumbs until then? I'm going to tweet out in 7 years. See? Really? You want to hear some fucking Nostradamus shit? Listen to this. You don't have to go file grinders. Yeah, talk good. Yeah, I'll talk good. I'll talk good when they do something good. All right? When they release a quality game. Right now, there's some questions with that first party. There's a lot of questions. There's no, oh my God, it's great. They announced a bunch of list games. We have no clue what Perfect Dark looks like, what's going to be. Fable. We don't even have a clue what Halo campaign is going to be like. Did they fix it? Did they improve the graphics? Did Craig get a bush? We don't know. Do we know how, like, what are the game modes in the multiplayer? How's Forge looking? Halo fans. Nobody's questioning where Forge is. Forge was the lifeblood of Halo 5. That's what gave us all the maps for Halo 5. Forge mode, sharing maps. How's Forge doing? Anybody? But 7 years we'll be using cloud gaming and Game Pass. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Listen to this. Back in May 17, 2018, Grinders. Right? Listen to this. And shout out to Attic, because we were on playing Xbox. I don't know if he was on this one, but just listen to what this person has to say, right? We're going to... Actually, I'll share my screen. Where is it? Bleeding ass, too. Listen to this. That was in there, the Forge. But, you know, I just don't think that the Halo... Like, Halo's the last one. Like, if they just dump Halo, everything on PC... This is Halo on PC. This is May 17, 2018. But you know what else? I think, though, I don't even think Halo 6 is going to be a traditional type Halo game. They're going to be I think those games are going to be structured weird, or they're going to be, maybe the multiplayer is in Game Pass, but the single player, I don't know. There's going to be some weird shit going on with those games, I think. I don't think it's going to be the traditional Halo that we get. I think they were able to squeeze Gears in that way, but I think even Gears-wise, they might change it for the model of Game Pass. And that was my fear. My fear with this whole thing was that Game Pass is a great service, but I don't want the games to be compromised to fit in a Game Pass model. And that's where it affects me, because like now, if I'm playing a game that kind of has these hooks or these things that keep you going on, now you're interfering with the type of game experience that I'm getting, because now you're putting that stuff in there. Fearmongerer. You don't know what you're talking about. And look where we are. 2021. And what is Halo? Frog remembers. Halo, I was saying Halo, because of Game Pass, Halo is going to be a platform. This is my own fucking channel, dude. This is not like... Look. I don't know where he went. Look at Tiger King. I don't think they show Halo at this year's E3. Look at the thing.
Here's something I like what Tiger said. Windows 10 has an exclusive game.
We were talking about exclusive games and like, you know, how Xbox, and I agreed, like Xbox should keep like Halo and Gears exclusive. This was when we were doing that whole PC thing and this day and date PC stuff. But the whole thing was Halo was going to be different because of Game Pass. And this was in 2018. Dude, like, what has changed? Can I go back to Mr. Grinds My Gears in 2018 and tell him, hey, Mr. Grinds My Gears, I'm in from 2021. You know? I'm in 2021. Don't worry, Halo is the same. I was calling Halo 6. We didn't know it was Halo Infinite back then. It's going to be fine. It's going to be the full game. It's going to be completed. It's going to... Nope. It's exactly what I feared it was going to be. Structured differently. I thought the single player or the multiplayer was going to be in Game Pass. No, actually, the single player is in Game Pass and the multiplayer is free to play. But I thought there was going to be something wonky with it, and that was my suspicions because of Game Pass. It compromised Halo. And this is why the Grindhouse is growing, because people have the same concerns. Like, people don't want this as their primary way to game. And the people shoving it down our face. Just say Hades is a great game. We don't need Hades is good on Game Pass with xCloud and touchscreens. Stop. Put the cap on that bullshit. It's not. I tried it. Because I heard people talking about it. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Let me try it. It sucks. They saw the Minecraft model of just putting a game out that was on everything and basically adding content as they go. and that's this service type game. The problem is that they fear that, like, if I pull stuff out of it and add later, that's a service, and that's not. That's a purposefully made game for a service, is that you're just pulling stuff out. Like the assassinations thing that I talked about on Monday. Do you think if Game Pass didn't exist, like why pull that out? Right? Why pull it out? Hit that like button, grinders. Grinds after dark. People not liking it, but people liking it, man. The Grindhouse is open late tonight. Woo! Let's go see about assassinations. I gotta find more things that I said, because I'm like, holy shit. I said that 3 fucking years ago, and people were going, yo, show, like, come on, man. But again, where is this thing? Where is he? Oh, I have him to watch later stuff. This is what I'll leave you with.
Something else that I just thought while you're here we could just chat about, I could ask you. Folks started asking this question as we showed off some of our MP content last month, and they're obviously going to sort of get the experience firsthand starting tomorrow, and that's about assassinations. You know, we saw a couple moments in the trailer where we saw some clutch back smacks that probably would have been an assassination. So, you know, folks have asked us, are they in, are they out, what's going on with assassinations? So what's the scoop there?
So they're not in for launch, and I think we're just going to be straight about that, right? Like, we actually really love assassinations, and I remember being at...
So, we're just going to be honest, it's not there for launch. But we really love assassinations. Like, what the fuck? Is that the most hypocritical thing, like, you would hear somebody say, like, it's not going to be there in the game, but, like, we love it. Why? But then he goes on to say that it's a competitive disadvantage to have assassinations in. But then then the hypocrisy continues when he says, we're just going to add them in when we feel better. So what is it? Are they a competitive disadvantage and you took them out of the game because people didn't disable them and people didn't use them? Or did you purposefully not do them in the game because you want to add them later as maybe March's content to sell, content to modify, a new customization? Maybe. Let's see.
ETS tournament with Quinn Del Hoyo, our sandbox lead, right when I took my gig, and we were watching a match, and somebody went to backsmack somebody, and they had assassinations enabled on accident because they turned them off, right? And they got this amazing assassination. It was a super hype moment in the crowd. But, you know, what happens at a lot of levels is people just turn them off because, you know, there's a gameplay disadvantage of it. And so one of the things we really wanted to do is take a step back and how do we think about how do these fit into infinite gameplay loops? And so one of the things that Quinn and I keep talking about is, like, when we bring them back, we want them to be back and fit right into our sandbox and the loops of the game, and bring them back in a way that really just feels meaningful, so they're always an accessible tool, but also kind of a flourish moment that people have.
Bullshit.
Let's see something.
And so one of the things that Quinn and I keep talking about is, like, when we bring them back, we want them to be back. How do we think about how do these fit into infinite gameplay loops? And so
how does this fit in an infinite gameplay loop? Well, from what I played from Halo, it pretty much plays like, yeah, there's mechanisms that have different movement and stuff from Halo 5, but, like, what is the gameplay loop? But wait a second. You're going to hear it here. I'm giving this to you. Because you guys are here late. Yeah. These are the concerns of Game Pass. You know, this whole Square Enix bullshit, that's something that maybe, but we don't know the details of it. Like I said, I have sources, right? I have inside sources, right? I'm an insider. You want to know what, everybody? We are all insiders. Know why? Because we have 2 fucking eyeballs. We see and we judge from what we see. That's what I do. Well, I heard, I can't give you my sources, but I heard that they're really improved the lighting and shit like that. Well, I could tell you from my sources what I played over the weekend, the lighting didn't look any that great. That's right, frogs. We've been predicting this. These were our concerns, and the concerns are becoming a reality. But we should be quiet, though, right? Because it's all fine and dandy. And then tell me it's the future after my concerns are becoming a fucking reality. And then tell me, oh, this is the future of gaming. You're just not on board. Whoa.
Get your mother, please. If you're lying to me, I'll be back.
So wait a second. Yo, shout out to over 80 friggin' people watching, man. Grinders, you rock. Hit that like button. Share it out. And then go check out Monday's show. That was a friggin' crazy, man. Me and King Thrash went wild. It was a friggin' Grindhouse for the ages. But I'm giving you the grinds my gears tonight. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. I heard this before. So what did he say about the assassinations? What did he say? Let's see. He said these words that I heard. Let me see. I think.
Welcome everybody to another.
Wait a second.
It's single player but it
as well. One of the things that Bungie saw, as much as we do, you can't take a feature away from Halo. I mean, we need to be able to, but the audience definitely wants it to be additive.
Additive?
Halo 4, biggest Halo game ever. We promised we were not going to do that with Halo 5. Halo 5, the biggest Halo game ever. And so I think it's like we keep adding things on versus kind of taking a step back and saying,
Whoa.
What is...
Whoa. What did she just say? What did she just say? Did I hear that right?
Get that right and things on versus kind of taking a step back and saying,
and what did our friend say here?
Back and how do we think about
what?
Take a step back and how do we think about how do these
What was that? Oh, okay.
When you look at research and people, it is a beloved story.
On the game.
And wait, how does she continue with this?
I'll step back and answer a little bit. When you look at research and people, it is I think Halo does serve, a lot of, when you look at research and people, it is a beloved story, and it is. I think Halo does, when you look as much as we do, it's Halo game ever. And so I think it's like, we keep adding things on versus kind of taking a step back and saying, what is really important? And how do we get that right and make sure that we really are focusing on what's the right story to tell, what's the right multiplayer experience, and then learning what we did with both Halo 5 and MCC, we can keep adding things on. So how do you kind of look at...
So 2019... And then, and exactly what he said.
How do we think about how do these fit into infinite gameplay loops? And so one of the things that Quinn and I keep talking about is like when we bring them back, we want them to be back and fit right into our sandbox and the loops of the game and bring them back in a way that really just feels meaningful. So they're always an accessible tool, but also kind of a flourish moment that people loops of the game. And we want them to be back. As like when we bring them back, things like Quinn and I think about how do these fit into infinite gameplay loops. And so one of the things that Quinn do is take a step back and how do we think about how do these fit in?
When I hear Halo, I don't want to hear step back. You have two of the most, you have the console that eats monsters for breakfast, the console that ate monsters. You got your biggest franchise coming out, and all I keep hearing is taking step back. Step back. You mean step forward. The biggest Halo game ever with the most powerful console. With all this power, look what we can do now? No. We're taking a step back and we'll add later. But wait a second. But people going, Halo's just fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's great. It's fine. It's great. It's fine. It's back. It's what it needs to be. Take a step back. I just go back to my freaking other video. Man, I'll go right to my other one. Go right here. Where is it? Where is he? I'm trying to find that. Oh yeah. Played it there. But then the other guy did it on the other one, saying about the classic guns and stuff like that. Like, they've worked on this game for so long, and for it to come out 6 years later to be a step back, and they'll add later. Sorry, Mr. Grinder from 2018. Fucking shit that you said is coming true. And that's the concerns that I have and always had with Game Pass. And I don't know how people could just overlook that and be a gamer and just be like, oh, no, it's fine. Like, the games we used to get won't be the same games that we're getting. Like, who is happy? Now, one person I know, well, I even talked to, was like, Halo needs to be free to play. Well, who? Who said that? Who asked for that? And do we really think, like, we're sitting here, we don't know the number of game modes. We don't. You think it's going to launch with, like, Infection, Griffball, Shoddy Snipers, Oddball. Probably they'll have Capture the Flag. Probably in Big Team Battle. They'll probably have Big Team Battle and Arena. You know, free-to-play games that launch with, like, 5-6 game modes. Besides Splitgate, I guess. Which was out. Like, you think they're launching with 5-6 game modes that we expect in Halo? I hope. We don't even know. All I know is that we played against bots for a weekend, and they turned on multiplayer for 2 hours, 3 hours. When's the next flight? That was 2 weeks ago. We're in the middle of August. Are they doing another flight? Oh, I heard people going, well, they're doing one a weekend. No, they're not. And actually, if you look at this, and where's this coverage? Halo fans? Like, what was it? Flight results. Look at this. Did anybody pick up on this? Where is it? Where is it? Is this it? I think it was on Halo Waypoint. Halo Flight Tech. Results. This is it. Was this it? No, that's a sign up. Trying to find it. Tech test. Thank you. Maybe they did thank you. Let's see. People are already asking what the flights are. Yeah. It was on Twitter. Did anybody, like, talk about this at all? Like so the flights are done. Right, here we go. This I'm too good to find the shit. So here it is. Brian Gerard, the guy, right? That's a wrap. Thank you so much for Halo Insights for participating in Halo Infinite Multiplayer Techno Preview. Your time playing, filing bugs, and sharing feedback has been invaluable to the team. So what's next? We have teams across the studio digging into game data, crash logs, and bug tickets. The good news is that this build is being a couple of months old. So, where does he say it? Our hope is to... Excuse me. Our hope is to land at least another larger scale flight properly focused on PvP and other aspects of the multiplayer experience. No timing yet, but reminder you can register as for right now. But they're releasing one every weekend. Our hope is to do at least another. At least another. It doesn't sound like we're testing this thing every weekend. There's a lot that they need. There was a lot missing out of this thing. We didn't even do much. Like, they at least want another one. At least one more. That's it. Because everything... Dude, that's why what we played, they allowed for streaming. Because I'm telling you, what we saw... People think that they're going to just, like, automatically, like, it's going to look like amazing next-gen game. I think that's the game, man. Maybe it looks a little bit more polished and stuff like that, but, like, they didn't hide it. And who knows about the campaign? That's right, Toolman. Like, you know, who knows, dude? When's that going to be shown? I guess I'll say maybe Gamescom, but that's next week or something, isn't it? And Microsoft said they're coming there, so maybe they'll announce the new flight at Gamescom. That would be something. But maybe, I don't know. They need to show it at the Gamescom, I think. But the thing is, to bring this whole back, it's just that this was my concern. When I say what my concerns are for Game Pass, I don't just go sit there and Game Pass is trash. You know, we joke about it, Dollar Bill Phil and all this other stuff, but it's a decent service. Like, it has its place, but don't tell me it is the service and it should be the everywhere, like everybody should do it, or, you know, you're not with the times. That grinds my gears a lot. No, man. This still has to prove itself. And this thing that happened with Square and People Can Fly, it does add a bit of caution to developers and even some publishers to know, does Game Pass really, like, maybe Square took a bet thinking like, hey, if we put this game in Game Pass, 1 million people more will probably play it, and maybe of those million, you know, maybe half of them or a quarter of them will buy it. And maybe they went into it thinking the Phil Ness of like, well, the more people to play your game, that's more potential buyers. Like, almost like demoing it. Because I don't know what they can, and I said this before, like, what do they consider success? Like, if you just click the game, and you just click on the game, does Microsoft go, yep, engagement? Do they see if you were engaged, how long you played the game? If you just play it for 15 minutes and delete it? Like, is there certain levels of engagement, like quality engagement you would want, right? You just don't want like a click, right? You don't want somebody to click a game in Game Pass and be like, engagement numbers up. Like, if that person's just clicking a game and it's taking longer for them to download it than to play it because the game is just trash, the game, they don't like it, it's not a good game, like is there a measurement of quality of engagement? And maybe that's a talk for another day, but like, I want quality engagement. I just don't know. I don't want just window shoppers, because window shoppers are not going to yield sales. And you could see they preferred people playing their game via pre-order than in Game Pass. But they gave you the option to say cancel your pre-order because that was a lost sale for them. And I am sure, you know, Microsoft and Square Enix worked out what a sale is considerable and what that deal is. But really, the developer lost that insight because they lost the pre-order, I guess. But anyway. But like I said before, and I know people are not going to... I don't blame Game Pass for the game not selling. Like, I just think that it just was not a well-received game. There was a lot of bugs, and I think a lot of it was exposed in the beta and at launch, and it deterred a lot of people from buying it. Like, it was number 3 that month, but it dropped off the sales charts the next month like a friggin' rock. It wasn't even in the top 20, I think, or top 10 for the next month. So it dropped off like a rock, and I think a lot of people, like, just heard that you couldn't log in and stuff. Because, again, a single-player game, even if you were playing just by yourself, you still had to log on to the Azure service to play it. Know what else does that? Back for Blood, too. So I don't know. You know, I just think Square Enix, I think that whole thing is just a shout out to Square to say, pay us, bitch. That's what that whole article is. They just threw Game Pass in there, or distribution, going that they don't know how well their game did because of the distribution. You know, and Square didn't share that with them. But if you look at it from the back end of other, because again, a lot of the industry, I'm sure, is looking at Game Pass, like Phil said, and going like, well, do we jump in? Do we jump off? You know, and this doesn't look good, bode well for Game Pass, because it really didn't make the game profitable or sell well, according if they would have got paid. Like, if they would have said payday, woohoo, and then Square comes in going, wow, we you know, Game Pass really helped us. You know, that's what you want. Like, that's what kind of Phil needs, that stuff. They need Square Enix going, Game Pass helped us make this game profitable because, you know, we didn't think, like, you know, we weren't sure about the game's sales, but we put it in Game Pass, and now we yielded more than we expected at a financial call. Now you have the industry going, oh shit, well, maybe Game Pass can make my game profitable quicker than me selling it. That's the kind of news that Phil needs from these things. And getting something like this where they're like, we don't know, it's not profitable, you know, that unless Square comes out and clears it up and says that, you know, it doesn't look overall well that Game Pass really had much of an impact. And like I said before, I really don't think there's enough people in Game Pass to really do that yet. That's why I think a lot of people are jumping the gun going, Game Pass ruined everything. Not yet. I'm showing what it's doing to the games. Maybe, you know, a couple of years down the line when Game Pass is more established. But it's been out for 4 years right now, and they're trying to crack 25 million or something like that. Or whatever we heard the last is 18 million. Like, I just don't think it's enough. And I think that everybody's very, and Microsoft doesn't share the numbers, so nobody really knows how well games. They just say like 20 people killed a squid. It's like, oh shit, 20 million killed a squid. It's like, well, what the fuck's that? They don't talk about the numbers. Sergeant says Phil uses money for guns and bait. So, dude, this guy. Dude, you don't belong in the Grindhouse. You belong in the outhouse. Take your blind ass somewhere else. Get out of my Grindhouse. And you're coming here. You don't even not even contributing. You're just winding up the grinders. That's a lot of squid killing. That's right, Ryan. Don't wind up the grinders. They'll fucking come at you. I might have to make more grinders mods. We need more bounces in the Grindhouse. When people get out of hand and don't contribute, just want to be a troll. That's what we need. These trolls in here. But anyway, besides the dude in the outhouse, we will see. Who else got anything? Yeah, who knows? You know? Who knows how much? They do a lot with the influencers. They know that that's the way to go. You know? They know that that's the way to go. And then you see that the other stuff, you know, and everybody kind of wants Xbox not to get beat up this generation, because I think a lot of, and you know, it's funny because somebody was pointed out, like with Destiny and stuff like that, was doing those things. Like, yeah, they're like, how long can they just, like, you know, they're trying, you know, they're spending all this money they acknowledge that they need to build up the games. Like, yes, it's not there now, but like they're not the same like overconfident, just clueless Microsoft that they were in the beginning of the Xbox One, where they're just trying to talk about TVs and movies and stuff. And I think a lot of people are just trying to give them more the benefit of the doubt. Which my thing is that how did we get here? You know, they like, I understand having a few bum years or something like that, but the fact that they are just this kind of like in its infancy right now and scraping, and on top of that, having Halo show the way it did, not being the showcase title that it should be, makes me scratch my head going, do they really still know what they're doing? Are they still that clueless team that was there in the early, just they got a better front speaker in Phil? Like, and I don't give it, and you know what you say, like, oh, this is all Microsoft. Like, I don't give a shit about Jim Ryan. Like, I'm not like going out to lunches with him. Give a shit about Sony. All I care about as a consumer is if that I buy a product, you support it with content that exemplifies the capabilities of that product. And one company is doing that, and one isn't. But one is doing a lot of talking. And there's a lot of talkers for that, when they should just be quiet. They should just be building games in the background. Instead, they want to talk about all their services and servers and blades and clouds and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, the content from them is still big question mark. And Twisted says, and again, I'm not giving them the benefit of doubt. They have been dead to me since they banned my 360. Wasn't even... What? J-tagged. Oh, shit, I remember that. More like yapping. That's right, more like yapping. Exactly. Logical Nonsense. They showed Halo. We got Craig. Enough said. Exactly, dude. Like, what benefit? And if they're willing to show Halo looking at that, like, pop up and all that other shit, the Brazilian wax Craig, you think Perfect Dark is coming in with that polish? Fable? Avowed? You think they're coming in with that spit shine? If they showed Halo looking like that, the $5 million budget, 5-6 years, 600 employees, the biggest development team ever, the thing that built the Xbox house, if that's not the showcase title, we think Avowed is going to show this? Outer Worlds 2? You think that all that love and care is going to those groups if Halo is getting fucking abandoned? Craig put out on the streets? Craig, dude, they need to buy some hair physics and put goddamn... Craig has a goddamn Brazilian wax. I think maybe they'll tie that into the law. Maybe they'll say that, you know, Craig is part of this band of rogue brutes that didn't believe in facial hair, and they basically nared their face and basically just Brazilian waxed themselves from their face down to their balls. And that's the radical group of these brutes that we're fighting. They're the bold ass brutes. Maybe they'll just tie it into the story. And Master Chief will be like, fuck these bold-ass brutes. Now, Master Chief don't curse, though. But he's just like, this clan of bold-ass brutes. You know, they broke away from the brutes of Halo 3. And, you know, they believed in being hairless. Because, you know, having the hair, you know, got interfered with their armor and in the wild. So they wanted to be hairless. So they basically just, like, you know, Brazilian waxed themselves, made themselves hairless for their armor. So they could move around and quieter. And maybe it's part of the law. Maybe that's why. Maybe that brute is basically like, you know, you go into that group, that clan, and you're like, you shave. And you become the bold ass brute. Exact Toolman, yes. All that million, all these years, no confidence. That's the thing. There's no confidence. There's confidence, though, telling me about that a thumbstick is coming in a year. Phil fucking hyped that shit up last year with The Verge. Oh, you'll see that by next. He didn't say anything about fucking pandemics. He wasn't like, oh shit, the pandemic. No, the guy from The Verge was like, yeah, I could see a thumbstick that'll make you stream games. Phil's like, oh shit, yeah, that's coming within the year. Fuck me, Phil, what? Yeah, that's coming within a year. You're confirming that right now, Phil? Yeah, that's coming within a year. On The Verge interview, he basically told about the streaming stick. He didn't say anything about, like, oh, devs are hard at work on the streaming sticks. Yeah, we would like to come out, but, you know, there's... But meanwhile, when it comes to Halo, it's like, oh, the devs, they're strong. But the streaming stick, oh, no, it's coming out next year. We made that fucking... That's just coming out. You're shipping hardware, more thumbsticks. But the game, that's affected, but your thumbstick is fine. It's because he's hyped up for this bullshit. Because Satya must have a friggin' hell, like a shovel to Phil's head going... $2 billion, right, motherfucker? When I gave you that $7 billion check to go buy them, you told me $2 billion. And Phil's like, yes, Satya, yeah, Satya's coming in there, right? Motherfucker, I gave you that check. You told me 2 billion gamers. And Phil's like, I heard you, Satya, I heard you. 2 billion, yes. I just heard you on that interview. You go tell them we're targeting 2 billion gamers. All right, Satya, but I need you to come back out again and say we're all in on gaming because there's some doubt out there. They don't fucking believe me anymore. I need you to back me up. All right. So Satya comes out and goes, we're all in on gaming. On Nintendo. Satya, you fuck. We have an Xbox. It's not a Nintendo. Oh, shit. My fucking cue cards. Satya, read the cue cards. All right. Satya comes out. I am all in on gaming on Xbox. Good job, Satya. Now, okay. Now say it again, but don't say it so slow. We got to get this well because this has to sound believable. All right, I'll try it again, Phil. I'll try it again. Satya comes out. He goes, I am all in on Xbox. Good job, Phil. All right. Phil's like, good job, Satya. We'll get back in the office. All right. And then Satya goes, Phil. 2 billion, bitch. I did my quote. Feels like 2 billion. All right, give me that $77.5 billion check. Let me go buy them. Todd Howard, come over here. Your curls and your leather jacket belong to me. All right. 2 billion games. I got to say it again. Trust me. Payday's coming, dude. Payday is coming. 12 teraflops. That's right, CTR2. I haven't heard anything about 12 teraflops in a fucking year. What happened? Last year, they were taking the shit apart like the fucking Legos. They were taking apart. They're like, look, you got magnets. Pass the croissant, motherfucker. Jason Rollins passes the croissant. They in croissants and cereals and butters. They're playing with the magnets, 12 teraflops. Look how this thing comes apart. Oh, my God. Rubbing nipples. It's beautiful. 12, it's so powerful. What happened? The monsters had to eat monsters for breakfast and bitches for lunch. Who knows, man? Where is it? Where is the power? Where are the deltas? And I'm not talking about the airline. Where are these deltas? 12 teraflops. I'm telling you. Let's clip this right now so that in 3 years from now, people won't talk about 7 years in fucking cloud. I'm going to tell you right now. In the next 3 years, there will be another Xbox. I already talked about it being in E3. They already talked about building more hardware. There will be another console. Because and I'm going to tell you why. Because the Xbox, basically, yeah, quadruple A talk. Well, Perfect Dark's supposed to be quadruple A, right? Who knows? Because Xbox has that Xbox All Access. And in 2 years, 18 months, you're allowed to upgrade. So, for all the people that bought Xbox Series X in last year, in about 18 months, they're going to say they qualify for an upgrade. It's in the fine print. So if you buy an Xbox, you pay that monthly access. Remember the monthly pass? So you pay, it's $600, whatever, but you pay monthly installments of $35, and you get 2 years of Xbox Ultimate and an Xbox, a console. But in 18 months, you qualify that you could trade that console in, bring that console back, and get a new one. An upgrade in 18 months. So, in 18 months, there needs to be another console identified so those people that are coming up to their 18 months on their Series X All Access installment have something to upgrade to. So because of that, in the next year or two, they will announce another console, like a cell phone, that you bring back your Series X and you will get the Series XX. And then after that, there'll be the Series XXX, which will come with Aaron Greenberg strap-on. But it fits the thing. The Series 2, Series Z, I don't know. That's why it's called the Series. You think they're going to rename these consoles all the time? Nah, the Series X2. Series XX, I don't know. Series X squared. But they need another one to upgrade to because of Xbox All Access. After 18 months, you qualify for an upgrade. So it's a 2-year program. So in 2 years, when your payments are done, they got to keep you in the loop because you got 2 years of Game Pass Ultimate and an Xbox. And in 2 years, you need something to upgrade to. Flip it. That's right. Like, you got to flip it, dude. So, that's what you got to do. So that's why I think in the next couple of years, they already talked about them making hardware. So devs don't even have time really to focus on. That's why they made the Xbox so seamless. Like, you know, there's not like a package. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. Frog says you get the Game Pass with KY Jelly, $2, and a hell yeah. But, you know, it's that's the reason why they made their system so seamless for backwards compatibility and just, you know, patch updates. Like, hey, here's the Series X. You know, it's like not, they don't say like Series X Edition at all. It's not like PS5. It's a Series X optimized for Series X. You see, so the language is there just to say like it's optimized for the Series X. That means that it's software that recognizes the power of that console, which means it's going to be easy to just go to the next console and just say optimized for the Series X2. They just make the same software, and it just gets optimized as they get more powerful consoles. And that's the roadmap. You know? It's like a cell phone. And they're going to be going, you know, they're interested in the mobile market. So it all fits. But you heard myself for 3 years ago. And, yeah, there will be another console in the next year. There's not no mid-gen refresh and stuff like that. Like this, or maybe they'll call it a mid-gen refresh, but they've already alluded to it this E3, which I guessed that they were going to do, but I was surprised that they did. They're not done with the hardware market, and they always got to do that. Because anyway, the whole reason why they're still in the console business is because the consoles are the things powering their cloud. So by them issuing, you're basically playing native cloud servers, basically. You're playing the hardware that's running their servers. So to them, they're just going to take back that hardware that you're playing on and put it in their server blades and sell you more powerful hardware. You finish with that hardware in a year or two, you trade that in, well, you get rid of that, and then we take those blades and make our cloud more powerful, and their cloud is getting powered. At the same time, people are making games for it, so you're not in that Stadia situation where they got to learn new hardware. Basically, by making a game for an Xbox, they're making a game for the cloud. So they're kind of, it's smart. It's intelligent what they're doing. It's just that is the gamer that like they're not making like they're not able to capitalize on the hardware because they're constantly moving, and they're focused on other things besides the core game. Because the core, Sony's making a game for the PS5 features, PS5 capabilities. They're developing solely for that platform, like a traditional console. The Xbox is just, you know, dust in the wind. Here comes one, there goes in and out, in and out. And that's the model. But, you know, all I give a fuck is about the games, dude. Make the games good. You know, I kind of, like, you know, PC is definitely where you could just experience Xbox. Like, it's fine. It's just a shame. Like, you know, if they really would have focused on the console development and made games great for the console-specific features. Same thing with UI. They're just adding like the UI 4K now. And then supposedly it's saying that they're beta testing it so it doesn't take up the RAM. You know? So, like, it's... But anyway... We're going to be wrapping this thing up, dudes. This has been the Late Night Grinds. I don't even know what we got going on here. I've just been going off on a thing. Where's my thing? I don't even know what the hell's going on. This is my shit here. Dude, awesome. Like, I'm just amazed. Yeah, the Grindhouse, Late Night Grindhouse, impromptu, Dan. I want to thank everybody for coming through. That's right. Oh, yeah, I can read the chat over here. I don't know why I'm reading it over there when I can't share my screen there. But yeah, they lack creativity, you know. I don't know. I really, the thing is just keep Game Pass what it is. And, you know, just the last point about the Game Pass stuff, like, you know, he was shopping it around. And then the other, you know, the other people, like Nintendo and Sony don't want it. Because they're not going to want Game Pass until Game Pass offers native content or content that can't be found anywhere else that's desirable. If Microsoft starts putting bangers exclusives in there and they're incredible, now Sony and Nintendo might be like, oh shit, you know, our gamers will love to play, you know, if Avowed is incredible and Perfect Dark. You know, once they start putting exclusive brand games in there and people want to play it, yeah. And I used the example of Fortnite. Imagine if Epic Store opened up a store before Fortnite. People would have laughed at them. Epic, what? You don't own Gears? Like, what are you going to put Unreal Tournament in the store? I don't give a shit about your store. But they did Fortnite. Fortnite was the driver. Now let's open up a store. There you go. All the Fortnite people go funnel through the Epic Store. And now let's do a bunch of games and stuff. The store became desirable because of the content. Game Pass will become a desirable, live or die on its content. And that's what we need to see. And Ghost of Tsushima is this Friday. That's right, frogs. That's right. Iki Island, baby. Iki! I'll be playing that. No sponsorship for Yellow Chairs. But I'm going to play some Iki Island, man. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, that whole thing with Shaman of Course. Oh, my God. I don't, guys, I can't go another friggin' hour. Grinds at night. We are done. Tune in. We may do another show. We'll definitely have the Gaming Grindhouse on Monday. Hit that like button, everybody. Thank you coming through in this impromptu thing. But, man, Square paid the devs if they made profit. If they didn't make profit, tell them why. Give them information. Square's at fault here. But the Phil Ness, he was definitely whispering in their ear, man. He gave them some donuts. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out. This has been Jez7780. What grinds my gears? Classic in the books. Grindhouse. Please exit on the way out. To the left. And tip your waiters and staff and your waitresses. And have a good night. Buck, you'll get your pool. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, everybody. I am out.